for a Next News special report.
Got some breaking news in a move that's left the nation reeling. Biden's DOJ takes the unimaginable step, an audacious attempt to incarcerate none other than Donald Trump. As political circles buzz with speculation, is this the very zenith of power play in the 2024 campaign season or something more? Brace yourself, because just when you thought you have the story pegged, a jaw-dropping twist emerges, shifting the entire narrative. I'm going to dive into this quagmire, revealing the layers that few could have anticipated, and a word of advice: don't even think about signing off early. The final thought at the conclusion of this report will not only challenge your perspectives, but may very well redefine how you view the intricate dance of American politics. This isn't just news. This is an unfolding saga that demands every American's attention. So folks, think of our judicial system as a structure that ensures checks and balances. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be here giving you this perspective. And just like after age 30, our body needs support like that provided by an innovative product that is tackling age-related muscle and strength loss, support your body and our news. Check out GainWithGary.com. Now let's dive right into it. Biden's Department of Justice made an unprecedented move trying to send former President Donald Trump to jail. Yet, in a move that stunned many, U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan stands against this push. Not giving into the pressure, she ensures Trump remains free even if he breaks the gag order related to the Capitol incident. Now, you might wonder about the circumstances leading to this. Take a look.
On Sunday, the federal judge overseeing the case surrounding Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, Judge Tanya Chutkan, she reinstated a gag order on Mr. Trump. Judge Chutkan first issued a limited gag order exactly 2 weeks ago today, on October 16th. But she paused the gag order at the request of Trump's lawyers, who are in the process of appealing it. And then there was a 9-day pause in which the special counsel's team later argued that Trump wasted no time in attacking federal prosecutors and potential key witnesses, including his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. With yesterday's ruling, the former president is now barred again from making any remarks targeting witnesses, prosecutors, or court staff. To be clear, this gag order is separate and apart from the one imposed in his New York civil fraud case, in which Trump has been fined $15,000 for violating it not once, but twice. Maybe it's a pattern. Because after Judge Chutkan imposed the gag order today, Trump again went on the attack, going after former Attorney General Bill Barr, a potential key witness in this case. He called the judge a, quote, Trump hater, and he threatened President Biden with payback, almost all of which might be a violation of said gag order. With gag orders like this, who needs gag orders? Joining me now is Joyce Vance, former district attorney for the Northern District of Alabama. Joyce, thank you for being here. Please help me understand whether we are barreling towards a stress test of bail conditions. Are judges going to have to take up in earnest the question of whether they need to jail a former president ahead of a trial?
So I think as reluctant as the judges will be to do anything that would look like interference in the election, ultimately, Donald Trump seems intent on pushing these buttons. He's had a lot of opportunity to walk it back. Instead, he continues to advance his conduct. For instance, Alex, just leaving up some of these earlier posts, the post about Mark Meadows, which the last time I looked at Truth Social was still up and had not been taken down. That would be a violation of the gag order at this point. So Trump is not going to make life easy for any of the judges here.
Today, the DOJ announced that they were indicting an Alabama man for transmitting interstate threats. He had left threatening phone messages for DA Fani Willis. Do you think the DOJ is trying to convey its seriousness in terms of threatening behavior in and around this case? And is that a subtle message to Donald Trump?
I don't think that there's anything subtle about it. DOJ has always taken an aggressive stance about protecting witness safety in every case. This is the sort of issue, and I can tell you on the handful of cases that I was involved in where there were threats to witnesses, people in a U.S. attorney's office drop everything. They put their heads together. They figure out how to protect the witness, whether they need to go back into court. These matters are taken very seriously. And so the U.S. attorney in Atlanta took a look at this threat, went ahead and indicted the case very quickly, will pursue it very vigorously. Donald Trump needs to understand that there is a line that you cannot cross over here and that he has become perilously close to it.
Clearly, the gag order, though reinstated, is a tightrope Trump might again cross. Joyce Vance touched on the DOJ's intent and the thin boundary Trump may soon breach. Interestingly, this isn't the only case shadowing Trump. He was recently fined in a New York civil case, but the question remains, is jailing a viable option for violating gag orders? Well, here's what Eric Holder said.
Do you think, looking at this, Judge Chutkan reinstated the gag order after she put a pause on it? It's still under appeal. Are you confident, or do you feel comfortable with her legal justification for reinstating it?
Yeah, I certainly think there's a basis for her concern. I think there's a basis for the order that she has, in fact, put in place. My expectation would be that the appellate court will, in fact, uphold that which she has tried to restrain the former president from doing. It's a pretty limited order. It does not say that you can't say anything. It says you can only say you can't say negative things about a relatively small universe of people. You can even comment on the case. But I think, as you said in lead-in, I think he's likely to go beyond that, which even she says in that limited order. And we're going to have some ultimate questions that I think are going to have to be determined. Would a judge actually do that which would happen to a normal person and put somebody in jail for violating an order, not to a gag order? I suspect that's not likely to happen with this defendant, but any other defendant would probably be facing.
You don't think that she would put him in jail, or that they would decide to put him in jail ultimately?
I just don't think so. I mean, I think there are a number of things. You put monetary fines on him, as the judge did in New York, perhaps restrict his ability to use Truth Social. A number of things. I try to be as creative as possible if I were the judge, but I'd be extremely reluctant to take a person who's a former president, the leading candidate of one of our major parties, and actually put him in jail.
Because you'd be worried about the political consequences or the reaction in the country?
Yeah, I mean, this is already a pretty divided nation, and to do something like that, to take somebody off the campaign trail, to put him in jail, I just would be very reluctant, really reluctant to do that.
No,
He believes such a drastic measure would only further divide our republic, already grappling with unprecedented discord. Yet there are those in the legal field speculating the unthinkable. Ty Cobb, a former White House lawyer, foresees the possibility of Trump spending a brief period behind bars, highlighting the gravity of the situation. Watch.
So where does he end up on this?
Well, the New York judge fined him $10,000. That's in a civil case. You know, that's not as consequential as Judge Chutkan's case. I think Judge Chutkan, prudently allowed Trump to try to persuade her to extend the gag order. She concluded, on the basis of his conduct this week, not to do so. And I think she'll come in with a much heavier penalty. And ultimately, I think he'll, spend a night or a weekend in jail.
Wow.
I think it's going to take that. I think it will take that to stop him.
Wow. That'll be an incredible thing to actually see happen. But you think that's where it goes?
Wow. Interestingly, amidst this political storm, the timing raises eyebrows. The onset of the presidential campaign season coincides with these legal battles. Michael McCullough, a former prosecutor, believes that Chutkan is being careful and deliberate due to the spotlight on the case. But as Trump fights back on platforms like Truth Social, it's evident the stage is set for more dramatic showdowns. So the audacity of a sitting president attempting to jail his chief rival in the throes of a campaign is not just shocking, it's a dangerous flirtation with autocracy. This isn't simply a political competition, it's about the core values that define our republic. If these allegations hold weight, what President Joe Biden is embroiled in may well be construed as blatant election interference. The misuse of the justice system to secure political gains is a heinous act that can erode the trust of the electorate. For any leader to weaponize judicial process for political advantage undermines the very pillars of justice and fairness. Such actions, if proven, demand more than mere condemnation. They warrant serious consequences. If President Biden has indeed overstepped in this grievous manner, then calls for his impeachment are not just justified, they are essential for the preservation of our republic. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.